Come update my Christmas magnet gallery with me. And yes, Christmas is over, but I have a few magnets that I needed to add, and I wanted to do it before I store all my Christmas stuff for the season. And that way those projects are done and out of the way. I did finish my little shelf, as you can see, and I did want to add a few more magnets to that top part. Here's some that I need to add. My daughter made this leg lamp for me out of perler beads. Here's a coaster I used last year as a magnet, but one of the magnets fell off. We got these two little characters from an advent calendar. I love this sled. It got misplaced, otherwise it would have been up there sooner. There's also this little Christmas tin, and of course, the little gingerbread man earrings. I got my magnets ready and my glue gun heated up, so let's get to it. Of all the pins I've made into magnets, this one kind of pained me the most because it was just such good quality, but I will never wear this sled pin. It's just so cute, and I'm going to make it into a magnet. I fought the first little baggie so much that I just said, nope, the other one's just going to get torn in half. These earrings also still had their backs on them, so I took those off. And then when I pulled these off, it almost looked like someone had made these themselves. And so now they're going to be magnets, and who knows, maybe someday they'll become earrings again. I can just never get used to working with these tiny little magnets. I have such a hard time with my nails. But I went with a big one, and you have to make sure that it sticks out far enough so the sled rails don't scratch your fridge. So that's what I did here, and then I backfilled it to make sure that it didn't get pushed in. And I made sure you couldn't see the magnet from the front side. I did the two little figures, and then I didn't end up having to glue the ones on the tin box because they stick. And then I'm just checking these to make sure they're level. Now that all the magnets are prepared, let's start putting them on with my favorite first, the sled. I have a lot more room up top, so that's where I wanted it to be. Thought that fit in perfect there. Of course, the gingerbread man, I want to split up by putting one at the top and one at the bottom, and so you'll see I did some moving around there. I still didn't love that bottom area. I felt like it was getting really heavy with smaller items, and so I put the Santa on there. I didn't hate it, but I really couldn't find a spot for the little cat, so I decided to take them both off. Because again, there's just a lot of small things. But I did have this bigger one to put on there, and I was pretty insistent on wanting to put it on this side. This is the best configuration I could come up with. I moved this brass one down and just spread out some of the whites and the reds and made sure that the colors, complemented each other throughout. Plus a bigger item at the bottom made that look a little less pieced together. The leg lamp obviously is going to go on the other side because it's more of a fun, tone, and it's less uniform, so it fit well. I realized when I went to go put on this little tin, it was a little chunkier and a little awkward, so I decided to just use the lid. I am going to save the bottom because I might not always want to use it as a magnet. And again, I didn't have to glue these on, so I stacked a couple of magnets. They weren't thick enough to keep it from scratching, so I had to use a bigger magnet and added a smaller one to it, and then I added that to the top. I thought since it was rectangular, it would go well there. So it's very busy, but I really like it, and I think it's complete for next year.